Today we will talk about one of the most terrifying and mysterious places in the Bible: hell. Hell is often depicted in literature and film as a place of eternal fire and endless torment. But how accurate are these images compared to what is described in the Bible? In popular culture, hell is often portrayed as an underground realm filled with fire, demons, and endless torture. These images were shaped by literature such as Dante's Divine Comedy and John Milton's Paradise Lost. These descriptions have significantly influenced our perception of hell, but they do not match the biblical depiction. In this video, we will reveal how hell is actually described in the Bible and explore the differences from common stereotypes. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Let's begin. In the Old Testament, the word hell, as we understand it, does not appear. Instead, the term Sheol is used, which describes the world of the dead, a place where all souls go after death. Sheol is not a place of fire and torment. It is the underworld where all souls go, regardless of their righteousness or sinfulness. In Sheol, there is no connection with God, and souls remain in a state of complete separation from Him, existing in rest and inactivity. It is a common destination for all who die, and the essence of Sheol is that no one can escape this fate. The book of Ecclesiastes says that in Sheol there is no work or knowledge or wisdom, which emphasizes the state of rest and separation from the living world. Sheol is a place of silence and unawareness. The righteous and sinners are together in Sheol, but in later biblical texts, the idea emerges that the righteous in Sheol awaited resurrection and the restoration of connection with God. This meant that after death, they could hope for release from Sheol and a new life with God. The righteous were resurrected to attain spiritual existence in God's kingdom, where they could exist in eternal bliss and communion with God, not as physical beings but in a spiritual form, free from earthly limitations. In the New Testament, several terms are used to describe hell: Gehenna and Tartarus. Gehenna is mentioned by Jesus and symbolizes the place where the wicked will be judged and punished. The term Gehenna comes from the valley of Hinnom, located outside Jerusalem, which served as a place for burning garbage and impurities. The fire in Gehenna burned continuously, and this image became a symbol of eternal punishment for sins. It is important to note that Gehenna, in Jesus' words, symbolizes spiritual punishment and separation from God. It is depicted as a place where sinners will experience constant guilt and regret that cannot be erased. The internal torment will continue to tear at the soul, deprived of God's presence. However, the Bible does not describe the detailed tortures or physical pain often found in cultural stereotypes of hell. Gehenna is a place of final separation from God, and this very separation is the primary aspect of the suffering. Another term, Tartarus, is mentioned in 2 Peter 2:4 and is described as the place where the fallen angels were cast after their rebellion against God. It is a place of eternal imprisonment and darkness intended solely for the punishment of spirits who have sinned. It is important to note that Tartarus is not mentioned in the Bible as a place of torment for human souls. It is seen exclusively as a place of confinement for the fallen angels, where they are bound in darkness, awaiting the final judgment. It is a deeper and gloomier place compared to other mentions of hell, symbolizing complete separation from God's light and justice. As for the word hell itself, this term is not used in the Bible in the familiar sense. As mentioned earlier, the words Sheol in the Old Testament and Gehenna and Tartarus in the New Testament are used instead. The word hell, in its modern understanding, entered use through the Latin translation of the Bible, the Vulgate, where the word infernum was used to refer to the place of the dead. Over time, under the influence of medieval theology, the concept of hell transformed into the image of a place of torment that we see in modern culture. Today, hell is often depicted as a place where Satan and his demons, armed with pitchforks, torture sinners in cauldrons of boiling pitch. These images originate from medieval literature and art. However, such representations have no basis in the Bible. Satan and his demons are mentioned as those who tempt people and lead them away from the path of righteousness, but not as overseers of hell who directly carry out physical punishments. In the Bible, Satan is portrayed as the adversary of God and those who follow his will. His role is to tempt and distract people from God, but nowhere in Scripture does it say that he rules hell or tortures the souls of the dead. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about biblical topics, like and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you perceive the biblical depiction of hell, and how does it differ from common perceptions? See you in the next episodes.